Welcome back to International Star Media, the Gold Star Standard, at the Gold Star Standard. Reactions, reviews, and news you can use. Once again, I am your host, International Yada. For the record saying the dollar, check this out. Bust after bust after bust across the great United States of America. Okay? Y'all take heed, pay attention out here. State to state, city to city, since the top of the year, we told you about this. Here we go. Check this out. Exclusive video of 6 men arrested in human trafficking sting in Spanish Fort. Check this out. The Spanish Fort Police Department released the identities of 7 people facing charges following a human trafficking operation. In just one day, the team was able to connect with the suspects in an undercover sting. Yo, check this out. We're going to jump into some video of this early. Here we go.
It was an online ad that offered an opportunity for sex at a price. And it came with one. A costly price for those who engaged the ad, made a deal, and showed up at this hotel room in Spanish Fort. 7 men, 6 currently under arrest and charged with agreeing to engage or participate in an act of prostitution. Another arrest is pending, says Spanish Fort Police Chief Jim Barber. A nondescript hotel in a quiet little town on the eastern shore. A routine prostitution sting? Not really, and to understand why, you'd have to look back 2 days prior to the arrests at a training session hosted by Spanish Fort for law enforcement officers from 8 regional departments. Each were being taught to look at crimes like these a little bit differently. They're being schooled to look for victims of human trafficking. Tonight, Spanish Fort Police believe one such victim has already been identified due to the weekend sting. If that proves to be true, this weekend could mark the beginning of the end of someone's human trafficking nightmare.
They up these sting operations like tenfold. Weekly operations, monthly operations. You know, of course, about the annual operations that's going on. But let's continue with this. Here we go. Operations like this are important in identifying those who seek to purchase sexual acts and in locating potential victims who may need assistance and support, said Police Chief John Barber. The parallel investigation into the buyer should serve as a warning to others that the person on the other side of the phone could be a police officer, with 10 others waiting to arrest them whenever they show up. Like they just, like you seen in that sting. We also got the full body cam of this operation. We'll play that at the end. Okay, let's continue. Here we go. Several agencies participated in training leading up to the sting. Barber said one of the 7 suspects was not taken into custody due to a medical emergency, but he will be charged at a later date. And you will see what that medical emergency was in this sting operation. We'll play that, like I said, this full body cam at the end. Here we go. Those arrested for agreeing to engage or participate in an act of prostitution were Salas, I'm not even going to play with this guy name, Patel, 51 of Spanish Fort, Isha Rodriguez, 36 of Irvington, Curtis Anderson, 45 of Grove Hill, Silas Lopez, 26 of Louisiana, Harry Bush, that's this guy's name, 53 of Fairhope, and Andrew Todd Miller, 57 of Florida. Here we go. A warrant will be signed for Christian Erazo Cruz, 36 of New Mexico. We appreciate the partnership with Little Tree Project and the cooperation of surrounding law enforcement agencies that participated in this training and operation, Barber said. Human trafficking is a complex issue that requires collaboration, education, and proactive enforcement. Check this out. Here we go.
A Fox 10 exclusive.
Absolutely. It's your inside look at a sting operation targeting people investigators say were buying and selling sex in your community.
Our Hal Sherrick was there with Spanish Fort Police and several other agencies as the operation played out. He joins us now in the studio.
And you know how people would be shocked to know when and where all of this was going on.
Yes, I know I was. When I was invited to get a first-hand perspective of this operation, it was a real eye-opener, and I gained a new appreciation for the efforts law enforcement is making to put a stop to human trafficking in our own backyard. The chase is on after a man police say came to a hotel looking to pay for sex. Police caught up with him, but not before he seriously injured himself.
He ran up the stairs. That's usually not a good place to escape. His reaction was to then jump to the first floor. That's, again, probably a mistake, which in this case resulted in a pretty significant injury to his elbow because he decided on his own to jump from the third floor to the first floor in an attempt to escape us.
36-year-old Christian Roni Arazo Cruz of New Mexico received immediate medical help and was taken to the hospital. He'll face charges once released. Cruz was the last of multiple suspected buyers to visit an undisclosed hotel room throughout the day Friday. 8 different law enforcement and victims advocacy agencies came together to put their recent training into practice.
There's a lot of different things that go into an operation. This one was different in the fact that we had a training class 2 days prior to it so that we're learning the most up-to-date contemporary tactics that they're using and how we can combat that.
The team was trained by Skull Games, a company that specializes in understanding and outsmarting sex predators. It's not just about busting the buyers. More importantly, these operations often allow them to contact victims. In those cases, help is standing by to get them a way out.
We were able to identify one potential victim, so that's going to be something we can follow up with. Little Tree, as you know, was there that day. We had advisors from the class that were there, giving us information, help us, learn new ways to address this problem. So it's a collaborative effort.
Before lunch, the team inside the hotel room already had 3 suspects in custody, and the text messages from the other potential buyers kept coming in. It's a high-tech fishing game between the parties, and once the hook is set, it's just a matter of reeling them in. The men kept arriving throughout the day. One was stopped by marked Spanish Fort police units in his car after they left the hotel parking lot. The others came without incident as police swarmed the suspected buyers as soon as they arrived at the room. In all, 6 additional suspects were arrested. Police say they all believed they were coming to a hotel room to pay for sex. Spanish Fort Police Chief John Barber called the sting a big success.
I'm very proud of how it went Friday, that we were able to make arrests, we were able to put into practice what we had learned, and then take this going forward to continue these operations because we have victims that are out there, we have predators that are out there that are buying these services. If they weren't out there, we would not have these victims out there. So we have to look at it as a multi-pronged approach. We did that. It was a successful operation, and there will be more to come.
Yeah, I must admit it's not often that I'm invited to take part in an undercover operation as sensitive as this, so I had to ask Chief Barber why. He said he felt it was the best way to send a visual message to those who would prey on victims in his community to stay out. There's a good chance you're going to get caught. Each suspect in this case has or will be charged with solicitation of prostitution, which is a misdemeanor offense. Live in the studio, Hal Sherrick, Fox.
And you heard them right there say they were being trained by a group called Skull Games. I suggest you look into that organization. They help, they assist law enforcement in state to state, all throughout the country with these sting operations. Okay, let's get into this, what we got here? This body cam video, this raw body cam video. Here we go. Check it out. Some of the raw footage of the body cam video from the sting operation.
We're ready to roll with him.
Y'all pay attention, take heed. Y'all see what's going on out here. Pay attention.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion, by the way, too. As long as my good side.
And there you have it, bringing it to you like no one else, right here, International Star Media. The Gold Star Standard, at the Gold Star Standard. Reactions, reviews, and news you can use. Once again, I am your host, International Yada. For the records here in the dollars, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And we will see you on the next one.